Chat, look at this, bro. It's a giant shower renovation, bro. Oh my, I love renovation videos.
Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be gutting this bathroom. The shower, classic case of leaking into the kitchen below, and the homeowners had only used that existing bathtub a single-digit number of times.
Whoa.
So they asked
That looks
me,
like...
do you think we could just do a giant shower? And to that I said, absolutely.
Ooh.
As much as I can't wait to pick up the hammer.
Damn, look how nice this is.
So you got to protect the flooring. This is just some ram board with some blue painter's tape. Only thing I would say is maybe test out some tape on the floor. You don't want to pull any of the finish up.
Big house, bro.
And then just over the carpet in my little workspace, got some drop sheets. Now there's no door in this little entryway, so I just took some vapor barrier and then a stick-on zipper right down the middle just to help control the levels of dust. And with any of these projects, just because I'm filming, I like to just kind of change out the lighting, get a little bit of a whiter light, better to see things with. Of course, any floor registers in the dust zone need to be blocked up. It's still going to find a way, but you want to just reduce it as much as you can. And then I always...
You too poor for a house like this, Kenji. What the f did I do to you? Why are you coming at me, bro?
And changing the filters out after these types of projects.
You broke.
Fill up a bucket while the water's still on, just to...
Worry about your split ends, not my bank account.
Speaking of which, any shutoffs in the bathroom before turning off the main water supply, I like to test the individual shutoffs if they're going to need replacing or not. Honestly, it's just a good idea to generally just replace them anyways. They're ticking time bombs, but do what you will. Toilet, of course, garbage bag on. Don't want it dripping.
Hey, when you take it that bad, bro, you just got to throw out the whole toilet.
On the floor.
Y'all ever been there? It's so bad, you just got to throw the whole out.
Shut off. So I had to cut each of the lines and just cap them with these temporary shark bite end caps. And then same thing with the drain. Getting those threaded pieces off so that I can get the vanity top out in one piece just makes it a lot easier. Anytime I can smash, I will smash. And I know what you're thinking.
Amen, brother.
Why don't you just get this out in one piece? It's a nice vanity base. You could salvage it. Look, the reality of the situation is I don't get compensated to salvage this. It takes a lot more.
Wait, is this whole room gonna turn into a shower?
Time to get things out fully and in one piece than it does otherwise. Like with this countertop, for example, just cutting it in half. Why? Because I'm one person and this thing's big and heavy. In order to remove the tub, I take out the surrounding tiles as they're kind of locking it into place, and then open up the front side to get access to the water lines. You want to cut these.
I feel like everything's cheap to make, bro. It ain't but 2x4s, bro. I could do this. Home renovation, I could do.
Off. Otherwise, when you try to lift the tub, it will be tethered down and in place.
I still have a half-built IKEA desk right next to me. I got a half-built IKEA TV stand. I lost 2 parts and I just stopped building it. I'm over here talking about I could do this.
And then you to get the drain out, and the overflow is just a couple of screws. That being done, I can just lift it up out of place, and then once again taking the sawzall to it. Same reason as the vanity top. Again, you know, just make things easier.
Ooh, this is so cool.
This
is so cool. I love it.
Then just carrying on with the rest of the demo process, just smashing, cutting, ripping out.
Is that a sauna room?
Necessary.
On the other side?
Don't be afraid to utilize your sawzall. Trying to remove things in big chunks is always nice, but sometimes it's just too hard. So cutting things up generally makes it a lot easier.
How rich are these people?
And of course, you want to wear your
have money.
I'm a big fan of the respirator. For environments like this, they just get disgusting. Take care of your lungs. Throw that respirator on. It's not a hard thing to wear. You get used to it after a while. I was really curious to see how exactly this shower had failed, and after getting everything up, you could see some water damage around.
Richer than Kenji. How about richer than all of y'all? Broke as shit, chat. What are you talking about? Talking about I'm broke. Y'all motherfuckers don't got no money.
Interesting to see.
I'm seeing a whole lot of non-sub. Y'all are not. I'll put this on sub only and silence you. Y'all, bro. You're poor. You're poor. You aren't subbed.
It's very unfortunate that that happened, but it did seem as if though that is where the leak occurred. Then getting these water lines cut down below the subfloor and capping them. That way, get the water to the house back on, letting the people drink their water, try to resume a somewhat normal life. When it comes to removing tiled walls, I like to take my hammer and just make a nice little horizontal line and then rock the sheet back and forth until it comes out. When you can remove them in big sheets, it's just so much easier because when you break them down into little pieces and it creates little rubble, it's just messy, it's dusty, pain to get out. The go-to floor installation method in my area is the lath. And depending on how many staples they used, it can be a real pain to come up. But either way,
cool,
I
chat.
like the SDS with the tile scraping bit. I just find it really makes short work of this. Still, it's a lot of work.
I will put some of this in my pocket, and then if they fuck up my order at like a fast food place, I'll throw it at them.
It's not too
Straight in their
bad if
eyes.
you have the right tools.
Blind them.
Since we will be doing a curbless shower, I need to recess the floor to try and minimize the amount of buildup in the rest of the bathroom floor. Just taking a skill saw, a sawzall, and an oscillating tool to cut where necessary, and then I can start prying up the
Holy dude, this is crazy.
Something else that they really wanted was a pocket door, and this is my first time doing one. It was a pretty interesting install. Just opening up the existing.
You're telling me all I need is a saw and I could just start tearing up my house? What the fuck, bro?
Space to get the rough opening for the kit that I was using. So just marking everything with a straight edge and then cutting it out, trying to just minimize the amount of drywall
I could do
repair
this.
I'm gonna have to
Chat,
do.
I could do this.
And you'll notice that I actually left the drywall on the other side.
I recommend it. I could do this.
Trying to minimize that.
I will make a drive-through window from my kitchen to my room, and then that way I could just like order. No one's gonna give me the food, but I could cook it for myself and then go on the other side and take it.
Amount of work.
I don't know.
I take out the existing framing, and then that way I can build in my new framing for the rough opening that is required.
W framing.
And once I have that opening, I put in the pocket door, shimming the side first to get it nice and level, and then I use a laser to establish the top there and get that nice and level, using shims and screws where necessary. Making the changes to the drain situation for our new layout, so obviously capping off the existing ones, and then because we're going to have a dual rain head system, I wanted to upgrade the 1.5" drain to a 2" so coming back to where the nearest 2" was and just teeing off of that way I can get a larger drain to handle the volume of water.
Ice True Frogs, welcome back, dude.
Shower.
Kenji, don't get any ideas. I have a bunch of ideas right now.
So we
Everybody's
need to have a talk,
that
because
window.
you're about to see me do something that I would never suggest anybody do. And that is cover up a window. Now the correct way to go about this would be to remove the window, have a brick layer, repair the exterior side, and then redo everything from the interior side.
Okay.
However, that is extremely expensive and was outside of my client's budget. So there are two main problems when we talk about covering up a window. The first being that a window is a point of failure. Windows have a lifespan, and over time, the potential for a leak will increase.
What the?
So to combat this, you can see me here just increasing the waterproofing done, sealing around all of the window, really just going through a whole tube of this stuff, trying to get a completely watertight seal. And then the second issue we're going to have is the condensation formed from the temperature difference. So to combat this, I'm using this rigid foam. I paint the outside of it black, so from the exterior side, it would appear as if the shutters are closed. And then I do 2 layers of this, sealing it into the window space, and then also going around with spray foam to really help insulate this. And even with all of this, I mean, this is still a weak point. So again, I just really want to make it clear to you guys, this is not something I would ever suggest anybody do. However, you know, the homeowners and I had this discussion, we went over everything, and at the end of the day, it's their home and they were comfortable with doing it.
You mean you got to replace windows?
And then the
I didn't know about that.
This was just repairing the vapor barrier. So where all the old one was, put a new piece over and got some tuck tape around it to seal it all up. Now I would eventually be adding a wall in front of this one. So before doing that, I just installed a piece of drywall and some wood strips to add a little rigidity to the pocket door here. And then framing out some new walls as well as a new ceiling for the little shower area. The reason for the wall specifically was to house both the plumbing as well as
this is
niches.
ghetto. What the f you're hating, bro? Let him finish, Joy. This mother still doing like the groundwork. Y'all fucking hating.
And it down is we're gonna do some recessed rain heads, and it's just gonna make it a lot easier to drop it down and have a perfectly flat ceiling.
You need to get rid of that yellow ass. Hey, all y'all talking about some, it looks bad. Y'all teeth look like this color. Like, I don't know what is that event. He need to get rid of that.
That way, for our large format tile, we can get a really nice bond. And then roughing in the shower controls. These are by Tenzo, using a laser to keep them perfect with one another. And then, of course, running water up to the rain head as well as the handheld, and actually using hammer arresters on both the cold and hot supply lines just to reduce any noise with the sudden shut off and turning on of the water.
Dude, this is like crazy. I never knew all this work goes into a house. Kenji, look in the mirror. What I don't got one.
This is the wire for the LED niches, just 18.2 LVT, which I fish from the under vanity area through the joists and then up to their respective niche.
Dude, I want this for my streaming room. I want like a shower streaming room so I could do a subathon and then be like, hold on, chat, I smell like, let me turn on my shower, and then I turn on my shower and I could just scrub my while streaming still.
Now with a curbless shower, of course, we want to recess the subfloor, but in this bathroom, we had I-beam style joists. So I notched these 2x4s to account for the upper part of those joists. And then this way I can sit the 2x4s in 3/4 of an inch down.
Bathtub stream? Yeah, I'll just put the PC in a tub.
That way, when I inlay the new subfloor, the top of it will be flush with the top of the joists. You can see here, I'm just screwing them into one another using 3-inch construction screws and really just putting a whole lot of them in.
You see that, chat? Like, isn't it like that's a big ass, like, I don't know, bro. Chat, isn't this big? This is big right here, right? This 3-inch nail that goes all the way through. That's huge, right, chat? Big. It's big as yeah. So 3 inches is big, right? 3 inches is big. It's big, right? Yeah. Kenji, what? No, I'm just saying like 3 inches big. It's like for a nail. Yeah, no, yeah, of course for a nail. Yeah, small for real. But damn, you want all the inches, don't you? Well, you can't have them. You can't have them all. You only getting 3.
I then cut down 3/4 inch plywood to the size of the openings. The end pieces I actually cut bigger. That way you can see I kind of get the ends underneath the existing framing.
Shut
the
so Kenji, okay.
Screw them up and in. And of course, using a combination of flooring screws as well as construction adhesive. And then with any of these middle pieces, I cut them about 3 inches longer than the opening. That way I can have an inch and a half get underneath each of the longer sides. You can see me kind of just putting a piece of wood on them and then hammering the piece so that the plywood gets snug tight underneath the existing
snug
framing.
Tight. That makes sense. Some snug tight. Shower bench.
Framing out a nice little bench for the shower. So the shower was only 39 inches in depth, so we didn't want to go too big with the bench here. So this is a 12-inch deep, 36-inch wide.
Hey, any of y'all got shower benches? Y'all got shower benches, chat?
18-inch tall bench. Just framing it out with some 2x4s, putting it.
You just lay there naked. That's probably so peaceful, bro. Oh my god. No? Yeah, I don't got one.
Piece of plywood on the top, and then this way it's ready to get drywalled over. Getting some 1/2-inch cement board up on the ceilings, and you might be wondering why. If you're familiar with my content, you know that I like drywall in the showers. In this case, we're putting 24-inch by 48-inch porcelain tile on these ceilings, so I didn't trust the paper of the drywall to be able to support that weight. So instead, just using the cement board, and that way I know it's going to be able to handle.
Just get a chair and put it in the tub. That is depressing. True Frost, that's like depression. That's like, if your life sucks, dude, that's what you do. Like, what the
weight of the porcelain.
What the
on top of that, we're putting in 3 pot lights, so I just cut those out with a drywall saw. And then as well on either side, we're going to have a giant rain head. So cutting those out, getting that
2 rain heads
as well.
That's so fancy.
And as always, using the Schluter-Curdy membrane system. So using 1/2-inch green board to go alongside that. And over fastening it, always a good idea. It's going to be supporting a lot of weight, so it doesn't hurt to drive in a few more screws. And it's not like you have to worry about patching them, as again, it's going to get the membrane over top.
That membrane, chat, that's that membrane.
On this vanity wall here, we're going to have 2 wall sconces and 2 backlit mirrors. So just kind of cutting out the holes for that. I have 2 octagon boxes at the top there. And just kind of an opening for our Romex to come out of in the middle of each mirror. Finally getting started with the waterproofing. So we got the 72-inch Schluter pan here, biggest they make. So I would have to end up.
Chat, that Schluter pan. So pretty much what Schluter plans is they keep the Schluter it keeps it dry and shit, you know what I mean? Because it is a shower.
Extending this pan to be a bit bigger, but just kind of cutting it out, dry fitting it, and then starting
Kenji,
on
don't even
walls.
explain.
I use all set when waterproofing. It's expensive, but you don't want to mess around with waterproofing, and there is a genuine difference between all set and other thin sets, or at least I find. I mix it up on the thinner
You were saying it wrong.
Panda. V-notch trowel before going back and collapsing all those ridges with a drywall knife. Just want to try to get all the air out of it. You're not trying to squeeze all of the thin set out, as that is what is going to give you that adhesion.
Adhesion.
Really standard. The drain install, just kind of gluing it into place, then setting it down. I use a 1/4-inch square notch
Who
trowel
invented all this? Like what? I don't know. It's crazy though, right?
for the shower pan itself. Just getting it in and then kind of shuffling on over. You want to be careful not to put too
like an
much
art
weight on
form.
one spot. You don't want to damage the pan. And then mixing up some dry pack. This is my first time actually working with dry pack. Really interesting stuff. I just kind of mix it up in this garbage bag before pouring it onto the ends. And then this way I could go ahead and screed it on over.
Imagine we just got a whole lot of crack.
Just using a
I'm
flat
sorry.
edge and getting that slope to be consistent with the shower pan. Using a 2x4 to get the edge nice and flat. And then just letting it set up overnight. So despite having recessed the shower subfloor, we still had a little bit of height to work on to get these two areas to be flush with one another. So this is just 1/4 inch plywood, which I am using in combination of subfloor glue as well as flooring screws to adhere it down. Now I probably should have staggered my joints, but it is what it is. And then after getting this all in with the combination of the Dietrich heat, that will get my shower floor and the rest of the bathroom floor to be
Also hit the light.
perfectly flush with one another. Check this out, guys. This here is what I call a game changer.
Ew.
This is
Bubble wrap.
new Dietrich heat, and it is just peel and stick. It's literally that easy. Like I dry cut it, I peeled off the end, and then just tamp it all down. And even if you mess up, you can kind of lift it at first, which you might be thinking like, how is that a strong enough bond? But the thing is, the bond is gonna strengthen over time. So the next day trying to lift this up, I couldn't. So really cool stuff. You don't have to get all messy with the thin set. Each of the outside walls is as far as I can get it. Anytime I can start tiling, that is a good day, and today was the good day. So
Ooh, we get to
here
the
we're
good
starting with
stuff.
the ceiling, and this is the cutout for the rain head. So the rain head itself is going to have a lip to cover any of the edges, so I don't have to be super clean with these cuts, but still want to get it somewhat close. So just using a 1/4 inch bit on the corners, and then using my grinder blade to get those straight edges, and then
How do you
polishing
keep it
all
up
off
there?
a
I
little
feel like
bit
it's gonna
just to
fall.
get rid of any of the uglies. And then I'm actually going to use a 1/2 inch square notch trowel and get my thin set troweled right onto the piece, and then back butter the ceiling.
That's
And then
fancy.
it's really important here with the ceiling with tiles this big, we want 100% coverage. So really just trying to rock that piece back and forth, collapse those ridges, and then just being extra cautious, getting a couple clamps on there because, you know, why not? And then this is the pot light cutout. So just kind of going with a 4.5 inch blade here, and then I can get that circle cut out, kind of clean it up with the baby cone, and then I can pop my pot light in, make sure it fits, and once I know we're good to go, I can
Yeah, y'all
get that
with
piece on there,
marble,
and then just
marble
kinda
tiles and
continue the rest of the ceiling. You'll notice that I have a ledger board on the side that I just screwed in. It just kind of made the install a little easier. These tiles are really heavy,
No,
especially when you get
yes,
the thin set on there.
kinda
So
a
working
bit.
overhead like that, having that ledger board was just a nice little comfort if I needed to rest it down.
That's that no got ketchup stain
And
on
then
our walls.
using the wedge style system, get these pieces all perfectly flush with one another. You can see I got the suction cup tool. Having one of these is going to really help with a tile size this big, as there's nowhere really convenient to grab them otherwise. By the way, if you're still watching this and
Yes.
you found it entertaining or informative or anything like that, if I could just ask you to maybe consider hitting the like button or subscribing,
I like and
as it
subscribe.
would really help me out.
Of
These
course.
videos take a lot of time to make, as you can probably tell by my upload frequency. So I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Going
Thank you
with
for this content.
cool little textured stone for the vanity wall here, which I thought was really cool. Nice ceramic tile, and just kind of adhering that to the wall. I got a ledger board right down below. That way I can have two full-size pieces meet the ceiling, have it really tight. And then really I only need one piece that's going to connect to the floor on the left-hand side, because that's where the
This is a
vanity will
lot of
kind
work, bro. I
reveal
hope he's getting
that
paid a
piece of
lot.
stone. But I'm going to leave that until the floor is finished. That way I can have my tiles sit right down on top of that floor. Cutting out the octagon box, just playing a more dangerous game of connect the dots. And was this necessary? No, it definitely wasn't, but I just found it satisfying, so I did it anyways. Again, like, the fixture's going to cover most of the
This allows me doing
surrounding
solo? Hell
area
yeah,
on
dude.
that cutout, so we don't need to be too exact with it. But
Chat, can I please fast forward? Yeah, I'm just dragging it. The reveal. Ooh. Holy, that looks clean. Oh my god, that looks clean as shit.
And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already done
Holy
so, you would mind
He
hitting that
cooked.
like button, subscribing, or leaving a comment. Anything like that really helps me
Hi,
out.
hello.
So you can imagine these videos take a very
Bro,
long time
that
to
is
make.
nice, chat. That's fire, dude.
So just by hitting something just helps to ensure that I can
I would hit my knee on that
continue
bench.
to make this content. If you're located in the Toronto area, or more specifically the Mississauga area, my
I would
contact
hire him.
information will be down below.
That's cool as f. Oh, this is so cool. I feel like it's kind of skinny. It's a little skinny. I mean, he got limited space to work with. It's a little skinny for that bench. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I feel like that's in an awkward place. It's not bad, but like, I don't know.
Now, in regard to
Chat, I feel like if you would sit down and the water's running, I feel like you would leave a stain on this for sure though.
project details, the overall
Wow,
time
it
frame
looks
was about
clean.
20 working days and about 25,000 USD or 33,000 Canadian.
20 days,
These specific items, we had 450
$20,000, bro. God damn. Dirty ass Kenji. That ain't me, bro. That's you.